Rampant crime forcing businesses out of Philly, including that Pennsylvania staple, Wawa, which recently announced it will be closing 2 stores in City Center in Philly due to security concerns. But the city's progressive mayor says closures aren't because of a crime problem, saying, quote, these 2 particular locations have certain issues that they had to deal with that was costing them money. It wasn't a huge surprise for us. I don't think it's a bad omen at all, but the mayor's comments are facing a lot of backlash. The Philadelphia Inquirer's editorial board writing, quote, sorry, Mr. Mayor, but Wawa's decision to close 2 Center City stores is a bad omen for Philadelphia. A Wawa spokesperson flat out said the decision to close the stores was the result of continued safety and security challenges. Wawa is voting with its feet. Not everyone has the same luxury. Pennsylvania State Senator and gubernatorial candidate Doug Mastriano joins me now. Doug, how bad an omen, to use Mayor Kenney's words, is a Philly institution like Wawa saying, we're out?
It's a political earthquake. I mean, and for the mayor to deny that crime is behind it, I mean, madness has set in. We have a city in Philadelphia that's had 1,000 carjackings, 4,400 robberies, 40% increase in crime, open air drug market with fentanyl, with people dying on the streets. I was there. I saw it. I mean, it goes on and on. Almost 430 deaths now, on track for a record 600 this year. And we saw what happened in Wawa in the Mayfair district of Philly up north, where it's normally safe and calm, where 30 kids came in and did $10,000 of damage, no arrests. Outside of Philly and Roxborough football game, somebody opened fire, injuring several and killing 1 athlete. I mean, that kind of lawlessness out there, how do you run a business? I was speaking with one Iraqi immigrant who had, left his country after the war, and I asked him, how's it going over in Kensington? And he's like, we can barely hold it together here because petty crime is not prosecuted. People walk in, take what they want, and leave.
Your opponent presided over the rise in crime throughout the state of Pennsylvania. Total crime in Philly alone up nearly 25% this year. Violent crime up over 4%. Property crime up 30%. Yeah, he was the AG as all of this was really getting bad. Why would anyone vote for this guy going forward? Because, quite frankly, Doug, he's got a 10-point lead on you in the latest Real Clear politics average.
Yeah, well, Real Clear, just for an example, had me losing the primary by 12 points, and I won it by 25. So I don't give them much stock. They're full of crap. But he is the attorney general. He owns a crime problem. And Todd, to make things worse, he tweeted on Saturday, I think, we need to do something about crime in Pennsylvania. I'm like, dude, where have you been for 6 years? If you didn't do it in 6 years, you're definitely not going to do it as governor. Look. The Senate races, everything else are important, but this gubernatorial race in Pennsylvania is the most important race in the nation not because of our significance only, historically being the birthplace of our country, but Pennsylvania has some of the richest energy deposits underneath our feet. Right. With Governor Mastriano at the helm here, we're going to open up and drill and dig like never before and hopefully lead the nation out of its economic collapse.
Biden and Harris are coming to your state today to stump for John Fetterman. I had 2 questions to ask you. I'm only going to ask one because we're running out of time. I'll answer the first one. No, it's not going to help Fetterman in the polls. So let me ask you my second. Fetterman says he uses the Shawshank Redemption, or at least used it, as his inspiration to grant murderers parole. What movie will you use as your guide as Pennsylvania Governor Doug Mastriano?
That's a good question, but here's the deal. Here's something as this. Fetterman is getting hammered by Republicans here, but Josh Shapiro also sits on the parole board, and he voted in accord on every one of those except, I think, one of the 53 in line with Fetterman. So Josh Shapiro is just as culpable and guilty of sending dangerous criminals back on our streets. That's why we have to beat this guy. He's too radical for Pennsylvania. On day one, we're going to drill and dig. On day one, no more boys in the girls' bathroom. On day one, we're going to restore common sense in our Commonwealth and have no more female athletes have to compete against male athletes. We're no longer a sanctuary state on day one. When they fly into my state, thank you, Joe Biden, the Pennsylvania State Police will escort those buses of illegals, not immigrants, to your house in Delaware, and you can have them, Sleepy Joe.
I'll expect that movie answer next time we have you on. Doug Mastriano, thank you for your time, sir. We appreciate it.